A lot of people ask me, a lot of people talk to me and they say, Smack, why can't you see clearly just like everybody else can? I have to wear glasses, and there's a good reason for that, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. So since I was about 3 years old, or actually I think since birth, I've had the inability to see clearly without corrective lenses, if you could understand exactly what that means. Since I've been growing up, I've always had the problem of, no, this is difficult too. Why is talking just difficult? I've always had that problem. I can't see crap. Just to exaggerate it, I would swear there, but I don't do that, so I have to pass that mental barrier before I get into that level. I can't see anything. If I take my glasses off, as you've seen in my past videos, everything looks like a blurry filter. And how about, right now, I'm going to put a filter on this to show you what exactly it would look like. If I can find the right filter for it, this is what it looks like when I take my glasses off. Other than that, I can see fine with them on. I can see perfectly with them on. I'm not complaining here. But when I was a kid, my parents always saw that I, for some reason, held objects up close to my face to be able to see what was going on there. I took some little spinny objects, right, and I would hold them up to my face because I was very curious. I was a curious little boy. Of course, this would stir up a lot of concern in the eyes of my parents because, one, a child should not have to put something that close in order to see what is going on there. And two, I don't know, I was probably stupid or something. It's like times haven't changed. So they took me to the doctor, right? And I had to go to the doctor, get a little checkup there, and it was the eye doctor, of course. I can't really. Went to the eye doctor, right? And they, man, there's like no meat of this story. I can't tell crap here. Hold on. Anyway, so as I was saying, they took me to the eye doctor, right? I had to understand what was going on with my eyes. I couldn't see crap. I was worried. I was fearful. I was fearful that I would die. My heart ripped out of my chest by a freaking cheetah, because that's my instinct there. I was fearful for my life. Just kidding, I wasn't. I used to roll down the stairs thinking I was Sonic the Hedgehog as a child, and I don't know if I could exaggerate how much of a problem that is to you, but it could explain a lot of my current thought process now. Intentionally rolling down the stairs as a child. Anyway, they took me to the eye doctor, and he was like, oh, look, you got issues, and I'm just going to tell you now, you got a little disability here. And I'm not saying this is exactly a disability that's going to affect your anything, really, apart from your eyesight, because your eyesight sucks. Your eyesight is absolute dog crap. And you want to know why? It's because you have bilateral amblyopia. You want to know what that is? It's one of the rarest eye things you can get out there. Only 2% to 4% of people have it, which means I am, how much is that? Hold on, what is, only 160 million people have that. It's actually a lot more than I expected. Me and bilateral amblyopia gang, 160 million people. We understand the pain here. So yeah, he was like that. If you don't know what bilateral amblyopia is, it's this thing where neither of your eyes kind of talk to each other the right way. They kind of ramble on about whatever happened in their day, but they don't actually like to say, hey, let's let this guy see. They just say, all right, let's screw this guy over and make sure that we both have very different opinions about the way the world should look. That's actually very poetic. What this means for me, though, is now I'm not even sure if I can get LASIK surgery to be able to see anything. I can get contacts. I can 100. Do I have a splinter? I think I have a splinter. I think in order to ever be able to see again, which I never was to in the first place, I don't know why I phrased it like that. In order to ever be able to see, I would have to use contacts or stick with glasses for the rest of my life. Now, I don't inherently want to stick with glasses for the rest of my life, but here's problem one. When you're always wearing glasses, your social life is completely centered around the fact that you wear glasses. You want to know why? A lot of the people you're going to meet in elementary school or high school or middle school, anything like that, they'll be like, hey, take your glasses off. Take your glasses off, because everyone wants to see what you look like without your glasses on. I always found this quite irritating. You want to know why? Because I can't see anything. And a lot of times people would actually just take my glasses. And so eventually they would get in the hands of somebody that I just couldn't see. So some days I just went almost a full day without wearing my glasses, and then I wouldn't really tell anybody why. I would just be like, yeah, no, I'm living on the edge today. That's what I'm doing. But I kind of did some research on this thing, and apparently it's another form of the already existing thing called amblyopia, which is just a singular lazy eye. A bilateral amblyopia is where you have both eyes screwing each other up, and not in the good way. It's really It's really unfortunate. A lot of times when I've been to the eye doctor, and a lot of people who know what it's like to have glasses, you'll understand that getting new glasses feels like buying a new 4K HD resolution television. You get a new perspective on life, you could say. Problem 1, you get a lot of headaches. As soon as you get new glasses, you have to deal with the new resolution. Imagine installing a new monitor into your PC, and the monitor completely changes the way you see life. Do you think you would get headaches? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you'd have a new sense of gratitude or something. Every time I take them off, someone states their opinions about whether or not they think I look better with or without glasses. Look, I can't say it helps or it does not help my insecurity, but let me tell you, their opinions are very unpredictable most of the time. A lot of people tell me that I either look better with glasses. There's about 50% of people that say I look better with glasses, and 50% say I look better without glasses, which leaves me thinking, who's right and who's wrong there? I'm starting to realize here, people have got to have some kind of glasses bias going on. It also spikes up the problem of people assuming that you are a quote-unquote nerd, meaning you're smart, and that did not correlate with me whatsoever in any grade at all. I got terrible grades in most of my years in both elementary school, middle school, and high school. And people would come up to me and be like, hey, you're smart, right? Let me copy your answers. So I let them do that, and they got an F, as did I. Look, that's not my fault. That's your fault for relying on someone who you assumed was a good, like a scholar. I'm no scholar. I'm a Minecraft player. Instead of doing my homework, I was, watching Dan TDM put on backpacks in Minecraft or something. I don't know. I think that just goes to show that if you assume someone who has glasses is smart, you do not understand what glasses mean for somebody. Someone doesn't just put on some glasses and all of a sudden they know how to solve calculus. I still don't know how to solve calculus, and I skated through that class like crazy. I almost failed it. I'm lucky I even got like a C. Now that I'm out of high school, I realize that a lot of times I forget that it even existed. And that might not be the case for everybody, but I, personally, will never look back. Actually, no, sometimes I do. I miss a lot of the people there I miss, and a lot of the teachers there I miss, because they were a lot of cool people. Problem 1, though, the most significant problem was I hated homework. A lot of the times I would be in a situation where I'd be sitting at the dinner table at around 12 a.m. after my entire family tried to help me with this one equation, and I couldn't get it. And eventually I just gave up and decided to fall asleep right on that table. I have cried actual tears trying to solve math homework before. School is not good for mental health, let me tell you. And I'm starting to think that it's a generational thing. It seems like most of the people of the older generations did not have the same experiences as us, and I think it's partly has to do with them changing the math systems. Whoever changed math made a huge mistake, and it will forever be the consequence. I don't think I'm old enough to understand whether or not high school is something that I should care about, because now I'm out of it, but I'm also a few months out of it, so I can't really look back and reflect and see really what I should take out of high school. But right now, what I did have taken out of it is mostly the social part and the problems that occurred during high school, which, by the way, if you're not in high school yet, no, it'll be great. It'll be great. Don't even worry about it. But I'm telling you now, if you get any problems in high school, don't worry about it one bit. You want to know why? Because it won't matter. Give it 20 years and you're not going to even remember anything. Get on the grind, that's what I tell you. Get on the grind, go kill the Ender Dragon. Go learn how to play some Hypixel Sky Wars. That's what I'm doing. Look, they tell me to get a... Oh my... I can't take it. Look, they're telling me to get a job. They'll never know I don't have one. Come on. What do you take me for? A functional part of society? Come on, dude. Nowadays, I'm starting to think nobody's a functional member of society. And it actually goes to show here, everyone's got problems. No one's functional. Everyone's pretending they're functional and makes everyone else feel like they should be functional, but no one is. So it's kind of a toxic way to think. I think everyone should just start acting dysfunctional so we can all live in harmony. But I'm not exactly sure that would work in our favor. We would see a lot more serial killers if people went by that rule. But I also think a lot of the time when people complain about high school, they're not complaining right way, I guess you'd say. A lot of people take the wrong things from high school. I think school in general is a good lesson for people and showing people how to socialize and learn how to do work. But I think what it's missing is showing people how to enjoy the work that they do. And I understand that a lot of teachers, there's a lot of good teachers out there, and I had a lot of great teachers that made me enjoy their classes, but I think the system itself is not a good representative of how we should enjoy working. They're trying too hard to set us up for factory systems while we're out here making TikTok. I don't think you're going to be able to convince an entire generation who's solely wanting to make content and pursuing creative careers to work in your little toothpaste factory. No one wants to do that. Just go hire some robots and stop teaching kids to think like that. But I guess we have had so many years to figure out how school should work to a point where I don't know if would be a better way to do it. I guess in some way we could find out the perfect way to educate people without making them feel like robots, empty robots that are being taught pre-calculus. But until then, I don't think there is a better way yet. I'm not going to college, and I don't know if that's going to be a grave mistake on my part or not, but I personally don't think it would suit me whatsoever. And look, it's good for some people, and it's good for those who, want to do it or whatever. But one, for me, it costs a lot. And two, I've heard from a lot of people that right now is not a good environment in the current state of the world for people who've gone to college. It seems like there's a lot of wasted talents and skills that people have. I always have understood that college itself does not guarantee anyone's success. It's the mindset that it gives you and the socialization and the networking that it allows you to do. I completely understand that, right? But I could do that myself. Come on. Just go on Twitter and go, message you or something. I don't know. I think that I have a false sense of reality, though. I've spent so long being inside, playing online, and talking to people that I've never met in real life. But it also gives me a sense of what's going on in the world. I feel like there's a cost for understanding everything that's going on in whatever is happening right now. I could be completely oblivious if I wanted to, but I don't want to. Therefore, I will be chronically online and understand every reference you throw at me. Sometimes it's kind of hard for me to understand other people's perspectives. And I am not sure if it's just the way I think subconsciously or if it's just the way that I have kind of always perceived anything. It's kind of this thing where I've always wished for the feeling of humility, if that makes sense. I've always wished that I could feel humble and understanding of other people, but there's always something in my brain that's like, all right, I have no idea what's going on in this person's life, so how am I supposed to empathize in any way? And welcome to this episode of Is Smack a Sociopath? That's kind of one of the reasons I'm trying to start making more content like this, where I just talk about things, because it kind of gives me a broader scope on the way I process anything. If I keep it in my mind all the time, I'm going to kind of go crazy a little bit, I feel like. I just think it's a healthier way of processing anything. I got to thicken out this guy's tail a little bit. But I still find myself struggling to say any words whatsoever. And I think part of it comes from my social anxiety. I think actually most of it comes from my social anxiety. I've never really been the type of person to be able to talk for a really long time and enjoy it. Which I was talking about in the last video, or one of the last ones, I don't even remember. Where a lot of times it's really hard to get into a story or something. I don't really have many stories to tell anyway. I need more experiences. But it always comes from the fear that maybe people won't accept what I'm saying, or maybe nobody is going to listen anyway, so what's the point of talking? Most stuff like that comes from a fear in the first place, which means it is unnecessary and bad. By the way, I'm still sick, so every so often I'm coughing, and it's making this 10 times harder than it has to be. For some reason, something tells me that wearing glasses is actually somewhat one of the causes of my social anxiety, because I've done a lot of little tests in my social life where I've taken my glasses off and seen how much more social I became. And in some situations, it actually kind of worked a little bit, surprisingly. And I would try it again, but, you kind of understand the problem with that now, I guess. And I think a lot of the time about what it would be like if I was actually social, and I don't think I would be anything like I am right now. At least I guess I wouldn't understand how it would be if I was like that. But in a hypothetical situation, if I was in a situation where I could see what it would be like, I think I would be almost the complete opposite, which isn't inherently a good or bad thing, but hopefully just talking about social anxiety kind of resonates with a lot of you, and you could maybe get some comfort in knowing that I have horrible social anxiety. So it used to get to a point where I had to ask my parents just to leave the store so that we didn't have to deal with it anymore. And people who don't have social anxiety, you could have a good understanding of what it's like, but I don't think most people know. It's not exactly like being nervous. It's more of a complicated emotion more than just something as simple as that. I, for sure, could not explain it very well either, which is fine. It's fine. I'd rather not explain it because it's kind of terrible, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Or maybe I shall. Maybe I shall. No, just kidding. No, I'm just joking. I don't know what this guy should be wearing. I'm going to make a crystal. I'm going to give this guy a crystal staff. That would be pretty cool. The weird thing is, I used to be one of these kids that just talked to everybody. So I somewhat don't think I am exactly introverted naturally. I think I've grown to become more introverted somehow, which I don't know if that's even possible. But I used to be a very talkative kid who thought everyone agreed with him all the time because he had no idea how to socialize. But that ended up being a very negative choice on my part because people started calling me annoying as a little kid. And that kind of drew in some fear to speak to anybody, which I think now is one of the main reasons I don't talk, or it's difficult to talk as much as I used to. It's got a lot more deep than some eyeglasses, I think. But I'd like to think that it is changeable. I've seen a lot of times that people say that at the age of 18 that you can't really change yourself after that point, and I do not hope that's the case, and I don't think it is the case. I don't really believe that's true. But I also hope that it's not true either because I do not want to be the same person for a long, extended period of time. But also from just a universal standpoint, I don't think it matters who you are at any point unless it's negatively impacting anybody else. I've always wanted to be charismatic or whatever, quote unquote, likable, and I don't think that's a good way to try and change yourself. I think it's better to accept yourself before you aim for anyone else to accept you as a person. That's a much healthier way of doing it because as soon as you accept yourself, you're going to send out that energy that other people are like, wow, this person accepts himself. I might as well think they're cool too. That's how it goes. But don't aim for the second thing first. There's always an order to it. There's an order to everything, all right? You understand that? We're getting philosophical with Smack-a-Laggin. I just realized this mouth is lopsided. I think fear is stupid. I think we should have evolved out of fear millions of years ago, or however 100,000 of years ago. Because it just doesn't help us anymore. There's no point in fearing anything. I guess from our tribal stages, we had evolved to fear to not get kicked out of the tribe because we're not powerful enough or something. But we don't need that anymore. We're in a different civilization entirely. We might as well get used to it. Alright, I'm giving him a cape. Nope, no cape. I gotta build the clothes first. It's just weird. I think society is weird. I think we should just all be chill. Let's all just be chill, you know? I'd like to stop worrying about everything. Especially speaking. Social speaking. And stuff. Which I think I'm decent at social speaking. I've always been okay at doing presentations. My last one was kind of rough. Because I actually don't remember why. I think I was rushing. But just speaking to people in general, I've never been good at because I just don't enjoy it. There's no enjoyment behind it, and I don't really know why because I used to love it. I think it's about that whole social anxiety thing. Anxiety just screws up everything. Let's just get rid of it. Let's battle it. Let's PvP anxiety. Wait, hey, see what I did there? Let's battle PvP, Game of Bed Wars. How about that? But I remember almost the exact point when I started gaining social anxiety and started worrying about what other people thought. And it's so unfortunate because that was the moment. That's kind of the moment. Always one moment in everybody's life that is the moment they get raised by, if that makes sense. That's the moment that changes who they are forever in a way. Not permanently, I guess. I don't know how to explain that. But that was kind of my moment. And I think if I knew the things that I think if I knew the things that I know now, it would not be anything like it was before. Because I assumed everybody was right and everybody knew better than me at one point. Anytime I'm at a family reunion or anything, I always just let everybody else talk for me because I feel like I have nothing good to say. Which in a way is true. I can't really make good conversation with people older than me because they naturally, in a way, are wiser and just have more experiences, and I don't really have enough to talk about to them. But anytime I am brought into a conversation, I usually end up speaking with one-word answers. which I would not like to be the case, but I guess I kind of got to stick with it for a while until people can adjust to me having experiences or something. I don't know. It's one of those things where if you are too scared to have an experience, then you're not going to have any experiences to talk about in the future. Dad lore. I have no dad lore. I have a few stories, and that's about it. A few of my videos are my stories, and those are the only things I can talk about. I have some things, but I just don't want to talk about them to people. Not because they're, like, bad, but they're irrelevant or insignificant. I cannot wait to not be sick anymore, because I can't even speak. I can't speak normally. And it's starting to tick me off a little bit. I remember the point in middle school where I was just making Minecraft jokes to everybody. And in middle school, it was around 2016 or 2017. Or it was 2017 to 2018, and that was the point where everyone thought Minecraft was like the lamest thing anyone could do or play. So I made jokes about it all the time because people thought it was stupid. So I took advantage. I embraced it. I embraced the game. And then it became cool again, right after middle school. As soon as middle school ended, Minecraft became cool again, which is kind of ironic considering my whole reputation changed in middle school due to my Minecraft jokes. I always wonder where those people are that I met in middle school and elementary school, because I can't even imagine most of their faces anymore. But I had terrible anxiety just going into school. I had feared almost everybody I knew. In a way, still do. I think it is very natural, especially in our generation, since we're used to being on screens and not worrying about what other people are thinking of us until we are shown on a screen or on someone's account or something. Very toxic, very, very unhealthy. Very not good. And to be honest, I don't even like talking about like mental health or anything. It's just been on my mind recently. And I don't, that's not the kind of channel this is. I am not a mental health channel. If you're coming to me for self-help, you have more problems to deal with. Recently, I've had a good idea of how to get over my social anxiety, but it always lingers. It's never really left in a way, but I've been able to get over it somehow. I always still fear almost everybody I know, because I always put people on a pedestal compared to myself. Keeps you humble, you know? Maybe not in a good way, though. Kind of more in a naturally unhealthy way. Which I keep saying that. I just keep repeating words. I need to read a dictionary once in a while. Anyway, on the topic of my eyesight, glasses suck. You always have to clean them. I always see little specks of dust everywhere I go, and I can't really see in that little section. Imagine there was a little piece of dust right there. I can't see what's over there now because there's a piece of dust covering it. I can't tell how far or close I should be talking to my microphone. Does this sound good? Yeah, this is fine. In a lot of ways, glasses have helped me out a lot. I've been able to get a lot of opportunities just wearing glasses. Some people like glasses. Some of my relationships have formed out of me wearing glasses. It's kind of weird, actually. I'm going to make a big circle. I'd say middle school is the strangest time for me, and presumably isn't even a word. No one says assumably. It's not a word. I googled it, and it's presumably. Man, again with that dictionary, dude. But middle school is the strangest time ever in life. It is so weird. It's like the limbo of education. No one knows what's going on. No one cares what's going on, but everyone cares what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's that weird contradictory in-between. And there's no way to describe the emotions of being in middle school. Yeah, that's the end of the sentence. There's no way to describe it at all. If I could describe middle school with one word, it is chaos. I'm going to give this guy a giant cloak. Cloak of destiny. Oh my god. This will be the cloak of destiny. What is going on? Oh, he's got his arm right here. I guess this section doesn't matter because he can't even see it. Alright, this will go around. This is like the ring of the bottom area. I'm just going to come down from here and go like this. Perfect. Just like that. Shape of the bottom cloak area. That's going to be pretty cool. Oh, that's going to be pretty cool. Kind of looks like he's got a dress on right now. But it won't look like that. It's not going to look like that, trust me. Well, I think this is a good place to end the video. So, hope you liked that little talk we had there. Maybe you got something out of it. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't have the intuition of an eagle. Well, you might as well subscribe now if you're here. And I'm a little tired and sick, so I'm going to go now. And maybe in the next video I won't be sick. That would be a miracle. Alright, goodbye.